Cancer, 5 key points, 5 key dates, 5 key major astrological aspects for you to understand the astrological weather for the month of July 2023. And that's whether you're the sun in Cancer or the rising sign. So let's have a look at point 1, because this covers 2 days. It covers the 2nd and the 3rd of July. So we have Venus in Leo on the 2nd. Leo is your 2nd house of finance. Now Venus rules the 2nd house because by zodiac signs, it's a Taurus house, and Venus rules Taurus. Venus represents finance and money, apart from love and relationship, but she's in your 2nd house. She is blessing your piggy bank. This is going to be super cool for your finances this month. But let's just watch out for this but, because on the 2nd, she's squaring Uranus, my big outer boy, of explosions, of the unexpected, of all manner of things that we just can't make out. And that's Uranus in Taurus on the 11th, in the 11th. The 11th is the part of the chart to do with your hopes and wishes. What are you planning on? What have you been hoping for? That maybe Uranus is going to put a spanner in the works. Is it going to be preventing you purchasing something for a hobby or a career, perhaps, or a project, a career project? I say this because I think with what's happening in the world in general, we're going to see a little bit of a financial contraction this month, and, you know, in light of events in Eastern Europe again. So I think it is going to have an effect, and I think people will really be tightening their purse strings and not splashing out on big expenses. So just a short little heads up for you, Cancer, to be mindful of that, because we've also got a full moon this day, the 3rd, which is in Capricorn, which of course is your opposite sign in the 7th house of significant relationships. This is where we have your loved ones. Does this mean the end of a relationship? No, it does not. It just means that the full moon is in your 7th house. This could be seeing the resolution of something you and your partner have been working on, the closure of something that you've needed to kind of make sure was all done and dusted before the summer really kicks in. So don't see this as a negativity or a negative with the full moon in Capricorn. Yes, it can be about streamlining things. You may be looking at ways to make your relationship a little bit more user-friendly for both of you, and cutting out some of the things that really don't help or clutter or get in the way. But let's look at point 2, because point 2 is on July the 12th, when the North Node leaves Taurus in your 11th house of projects and hopes and wishes. It's going to move into Aries, which is your 10th house of career. This is super helpful because you've had the North Node in your 11th house Taurus for 18 months, bringing opportunities to launch certain projects. Now we're really getting down to business. It's moving into your 10th house, Aries. This is really going to shift the energies and give you an opportunity to make some serious kind of inroads with your particular career and your path in life. Now you've got to remember that this also brings in the energy of your 4th house, which is Libra, the sign of balance and harmony, because the 4th house, remember, is all about home and family. Now that's where the South Node is. You may be reminiscing about the family, about family that are no longer with you. That may be one kind of side of this. You may also be looking at doing the ancestry DNA and finding out a little bit more about your family roots. That could also be something that goes on with this kind of energy. But also I think it can be about karma. And it may be that there are some karmic results that will appear through the eclipses that will come in Aries and in Libra over the next 18 months that will promote healing. Now let's look at points. Can't count. Point 3. God. July 17th, our planet of communication, Mercury, in your second house as well, where Venus is. Mercury, of course, remember the second house is about finance. And Mercury is also squaring Jupiter, a big outer boy of expansion, of luck and opportunity. But it can also be contraction or the negative if we let it get out of control. And it's in Taurus in your 11th house of hopes and wishes. There's going to be serious talk, maybe between you and the bank manager, and something you want to splash money out on. Maybe the talk is between you and yourself, but somehow I can see you just boiling up inside a bit, Cancer, and getting a little bit frustrated that you're being restricted from what you would really like to do. So that is around on the 17th, at the same time as we have the new moon in your sign, Cancer, in your first house. So this is going to balance out those rather challenging energies and make you actually feel a lot better. So that in spite of that kind of rather angsty kind of energy, you have this new moon energy, so that you are going to be actually feeling quite good by the end of the day and quite hopeful and optimistic that if you just let go and have faith, all these things will start to fall into place at the right time. Now to point 4. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I've got 4 fingers up. July 23rd. Venus again. Venus is really in the headlines this month. And Venus, our planet of love and relationship and finance and self-worth, in Leo, in your second house, turns retrograde. This is big. This is very big, and I will be doing a separate video about Venus retrograde. Now, it's going to be in this part of your chart until October, when it will move into your third house, Virgo, but it doesn't go direct again till September. Now, what can we expect from Venus in the second house going retrograde? Remember, when planets go apparently backwards, when they retreat, when they retrace their steps, they're actually often giving us opportunities to collect ourselves, to go over things that we may have done too hurriedly, to correct mistakes that we might have made. So if there's anything in the financial area that you've overlooked, then Venus is going to maybe really be quite helpful to you and say, look, you missed this bit, and you suddenly realize that perhaps you're a little bit better off than you thought you were. So that can be a very promising energy of this Venus retrograde. But also on the 23rd, we have point 5. And point 5 is about Chiron, our asteroid of inner wounds. It's the healing, it's the wounded healer. It's like healer, heal thyself. Now you've got Chiron in your 10th house, Aries, which is the part of your chart to do with your career, your passion, your soul path. You've had Chiron here for a long time. So you've got used to the sort of experience of discovering and learning so much about you through the kind of wounds that you might have experienced through some things working out with your career and some things not. Now, Chiron is going retrograde on the 23rd. So remember, retrograde planets retrace. They also bring opportunities to revisit and to renew and to think, this is familiar to me. I've been here before if it's something about career, and I know how to deal with this. So that could be a very useful use of this energy. So on that note, Cancer, I'm going to leave you alone. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Please subscribe to my website, pennydix.com. If you'd like a session, I'm taking bookings for the end of July and for the month of August. I won't be taking time off in August. I'm just carrying on. I might reduce the amount of sessions, so you might find you have to wait maybe a few days longer than you would normally have had to have waited, but in general I will be around. So there we go, Cancer. And thank you for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.